Hey, what's going on? My name is Noah, and I got 10th place at Montreal Regionals with Goblin Bikers. So this deck felt pretty okay to play. It still has a lot of downfalls and a lot of shortcomings, but overall, it just felt good enough for me to play. And with the lack of prep time I had with it, I think it did as well as it could in that moment. Before we get into the deck profile, I would just like to shout out my boy Cedric, if you know, you know, and also Luca Starnino from stealing my top 8 position. Shout out to Card Brawlers for being an excellent card shop for where I buy my cards. And yeah, let's get into the deck profile. So we play one copy of Boomlock, one copy of Goblin Biker Collider Exploder, and one copy of Mean Merciless. So the reason we're playing one of each is because they're essentially the bricks of the deck. Yes, this one extends from grave and summons from hand on normal or special. Yes, this one summons is like a monster reborn on your opponent's turn, and then, well, on your turn, it's a monster reborn on normal special. On your opponent's turn, it summons itself. The main reason you're not playing any more of these is because they just suck to see in your hand. Like, if you play more, it just doesn't make sense to me. Even if you have, like, Mean in hand when you normal tour guide, it's still fine and doesn't really matter. Next, we're playing Triple Dog. This is the best one out of all the goblins. It's just search a spell trap and detaches a material to summon itself. So it's really nice extender. None of these cards are starters. Let me make this clear. Goblins don't start your plays, they extend your plays. Yes, they can kind of start if you see multiple, but they're too inconsistent to be able to start your plays. Next, we played Triple Grand Entrance. This card is crazy. It just is essentially your version of E-Tally, right? You just search in special from hand if you detach. Very good extender. In worst casing, kind of start your plays if you have like really bricky hands. But at that point, you're probably losing to one hand trap anyways. And then we play the one Rhoda. This searches Doug, and you can search other warriors, but we're not playing any other warriors in this list. I could consider playing Kagemucha, but I feel like I just needed more room for non-engine. The one Grand Dash, this card is mandatory. You have to play one. So the good play about this is that it can give you a double summon, and it also gets you attack, a 300 attack per goblin. So if you have control of 2 goblins, a 600 attack each. Being a double summon, and then it can boost the level. It can double the levels of 2 goblins you control essentially. So you target 2 goblins, and just they gain levels equal to the combined levels of them. So target 2 level 3s, they become level 6. Simple as that. So you can use that to make Evil Zorlars. You can even make Beatrice to send Transaction and then send the Shiranui trap thingy that just skips their turn. One of the new card. This is Goblin Biker Grand Pile Up. Why is this card so good? It's because it sucks. Literally. Let me explain. Essentially, you can target any Xyz and then summon a goblin over it, a goblin Xyz from your extra deck. And so you can summon stuff like Crazy Beast very easily, and you can summon out even Gabonga in some situations. And it also gets you a detach from grave, so you have more grave disruption, which is very nice this format, especially against voiceless. You can like eat their ritual spell in grave. It's any card in grave. So you play the one full armored Xyz. You have to play this. This card's crazy. Essentially, immediately after this effect resolves, you Xyz summon, and then you can banish it from grave, equip a dude from your graveyard, usually torpedo, and then it can't be targeted. And when it attacks, it has like an Armades-like effect. Next for our other cards that we play one Taketomborg, triple Terratop. I was considering 2 Taketomborg. This card, like Taketomborg, is actually pretty good since we do have a lot of wins. We have Boomlock. We play E-Tally for Nyan, so we're able to facilitate having wins on field pretty easily. As well as you can even, like, if you summon Gossip Shadow, you can then just summon a Taketomborg. But Terratop is mandatory in this list. It just gets you so much advantage, and just seeing one makes it so you can play through that many more hand traps. Triple Tour Guide. This card is crazy. There's no reason not to play 3. This card is your starter. It's like one of your only starters other than Terratop. But it's so what's really crazy about it is that when you normal summon it, you can special summon Merciless, and then you make Gabonga, you search the Doug, and then now you're going to detach the Merciless off of the Gabonga, special summon it, and then now you get essentially 2 free bodies. And then you can just continue comboing. Next we play the 1 Psychic Tracker and the 1 Psychic Wheeler. So why are we playing 1 of each? It's because first of all they're psychics, second of all they're okay. They kind of just do what they do. That's pretty much all they really need to do. We play 1 Hime, Nyan Nyan. Like, this card's crazy. Being able to shuffle back from Banish is kind of nice. But it's just, it does what it does. It also can help chain block your Doug if you have it in grave. So, yeah, there's that. You play the triple E-Telly. This card's kind of crazy. Essentially summons this, or it can summon out your Wheeler trackers. Now moving on to the non-engine part of the build. We played 2 talents, triple Imperm, triple Nib, triple Ogre, triple Ash. I feel like I should have sided Nib instead of maining it, because this card sucks. Ogre is really nice against stun, just being able to contest Runic Fountain, and other continuouses are kind of nice. For you guys, play 2 Gabonga. This card is crazy. It sucks, literally. Again, once a dude is detached, you get to suck one of their monsters under it. Other than that, on summon it searches a goblin, and then, well, on XC summon, so not on special summon, which is important. Otherwise, during the end phase, you get to attach a goblin from deck. Make sure you do not forget about it. I forgot about that effect like a few times, just because we're going fast, and you know, I just go like pass, or like, oh wait, end phase, you know, I'm like, oh, it's too late. Oh, okay. For our next card, we have Gossip Shadow. So this card actually has a lot of utility going first and second. What's nice about it, like against the Melodious matchup, you can legit just make this if they let you, and then now if they try to bounce it, and then you just go effect. We both draw 1. Well, you can go like into this guy, detach, search, overlay, and swing, and then now you have like a 2 Mad Zeus. So Gossip Shadow can just help you get like a 2 Mad Zeus up, wipe the field, then now you're chilling. That being said, Melodious can just float and gain so much advantage, so I'd be a bit careful. And I'm just not exactly sure how to deal with that matchup yet. But yeah. Assure King was pretty crazy. Just being able to attack 3 times, kind of nutty, helps end games, helps put up a lot of damage really fast. And then we play the 1 Torpedo. This card's crazy. It says draw 1. You draw 1. Then if you don't draw into exactly full armored Xyz, you can go overlay for this, search it. Then you go, and in some situations you can even overlay onto this. Grab back the Fortress from grave because it is an Xyz card. And then now you can set up 2 level 3s, or like set up Splitter and grave, and then on their turn you're going to Splitter and grave, detach special, effect, summon Doug search, and then now you can Xyz into a rank 3. Something like a Gossip Shadow, or even a second Gabonga if you need it. Moving on to the rank 6s, we play 1 Lars. This card felt pretty okay. Didn't really make it. Just didn't really have the chance. I was playing through a lot of hand traps, and I was like, I have to search the trap to get increased ceiling rather than having to worry about evenly. And worst case scenario, you can even like do like 2 Bestials, go into Lars, which is really funny. Never really happened because I sided in Bestials like once today. 1 Crazy Beast, pretty crazy. Actually really crazy. So using the trap makes this card pretty good. And 1 Typhon, 1 Zeus. I'm not gonna explain these, they're self-explanatory. SP. I am not explaining SP. IP. It makes SP. Appaloosa came up once today. Didn't really help. I might as well just made SP. And then 1 Underworld. This guy's good. Let's move on to the side. I played triple, 2 Druus, 1 Magnamut, triple Droplet. This is for Voiceless, Branded, whatever. This is for Branded, Centurion, all that stuff. My side against Melodious is very weak. Since I don't have Dark Ruler, it's very weak. I suffer against Melodious. And next we have Cosmic Cyclone. This card is good. Against Runic, it's pretty crazy being able to banish Fountain and all that stuff. Next up is Fissure. In this deck, it's crazy because Exceed Materials aren't cards, so they go to the grave. And that comes up like crazy. It's like, oh yeah, that's true. So all your dudes are going to go into the grave. You pretend it doesn't exist. It beats Stroll. It beats Ogre. It's very good. If you see it. Triple Evenly. This card was amazing. My matchups were round 1 was Horus, go second Horus, which didn't really do a whole lot, but I was able to essentially just clear their field, set up my board, and if they can't OTK, then I, do whatever, right? Easy peasy. Second round was against Stunburn. Round 3 was Runic Stun. Round 4 was Spellbook, Runic, Jousting Control, whatever you want to call it. Essentially a glorified stun deck with an F-Zero on top. Round 5 was Salamangreat. I lost against Salamangreat due to a misplay game 1. Round 6 was Voiceless Voice. I won dice roll. I was able to set up my board. I was chilling. Round 7 was against Melodious, the guy who got second place. He won dice roll. He set up the dude that bounces with a few graveyard banishes. Like, he ended on two graveyard banishes. I didn't get Nib in hand. And then it was just like, okay, cool. Overall, I felt this deck was alright. But yeah, there was definitely a world where I was able to win that regional. I feel like all my games were still winnable. I just piloted incorrectly, and that was due to my uncomfortability with the deck, right? I was decently comfortable. I knew how to do the lines. I practiced like a couple hours before, and I was chilling. There were still some areas where I needed to learn, especially if you're doing like very intense games. Getting 10th place was definitely much higher than I thought I would get, just because of the shortcomings of the deck and my lack of prep time. But it was a pretty strong deck, I'll be honest. Pretty good. And just before you guys want to leave, please make sure you check out my YouTube channel if you guys want to. It's NAWCQ. I upload every so often, what's looking like every 100 days for me, for some reason. But yeah, please check it out. Feel free to drop a sub if you really, really want to.